Here is good? Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Well, let's start this. I will speak about how to have more non-English speakers users in general, not only for Bluesky and stuff. I will explain a bit how this is going to work. I have a little bit of a presentation where I will introduce you to the topic, talk a bit about stuff, and by the end I will have a few minutes so we can discuss things, including people watching from home on Streamplace. I will read the screen chats if you have any contributions, especially non-speakers participants will be very welcome to join the discussion at the end. Okay. Oh no. I don't know. Help me. Okay. Now I figure it. Okay, let me introduce myself a little bit. Oh, sorry, I forgot the mic. It's here. I will introduce myself a little bit. I am Victoria. I'm from Brazil. My pronouns are they, she in English. My handle is vicwalker.dev.br on Bluesky. And my real occupation is I'm a QA architect, and I also for 8 years already, and I also do community moderation job for Brazilian creators for more around 12 years already. Also, a little of my background too. I am graduated as game developer and IT technician, and I also I do a little bit of help translating some apps. Even before the AT protocol, I helped some apps like Twitter. I don't know if anyone will know this old app for Twitter. It was really cool. And I helped translate a bit for Tokimeki, the Bluesky client, from to Portuguese. I also use it. I used it to be a streamer back in some more than 10 years ago, but today I'm just stream as a hobby. I also founded AT Brazil, that you can find by the handle atproto.com.br, and I'm based in São Paulo, Brazil. Also, you might see might find me using this icon a lot everywhere, but this is done from a little friend of mine. So, just to know. Okay, let's go to the main topics I will be talking about. So, there's 3 big topics I want to talk of. A bit of a problem, a barrier to keep your users that they don't speak English as a first language. So first off, the onboarding. I want to provoke a little bit of questions for you all. The first impression is always important. So if you need to ask, is your onboarding generic enough for people from multiple countries to understand how to get around your app or not? If you are not sure, you can just ask some search for some people that are open to give your feedback. It's always good. Also, communication. After they are using your app, you can't just take that for granted. Having a good and healthy communication with your user base is really good, and communities will always be very happy to be acknowledged and be listened to. So please also be very careful, because science people speak different languages, and English is not their first language. Words can be understood in different ways. So please be very mindful about your wording and stuff. It can be very impactful of your success of your app. You can scare away many users. Also, translation. I won't go too deep, because right after me, my little friend here will have a full talk about the challenges of translating Bluesky to French. And it's going to go very deeply in this topic, but I will give some a little bit of tips and resources to help with that. Like a little fact check, like less than 20% of the global population actually speaks English. So you can't count with having English is enough for your app. Also, be very careful, because machine translations doesn't solve everything. Even with the advanced AI models, you need to be very careful. I will enter into this topic now, a little in a few minutes. Okay, let's talk about the onboarding. Users are having a lot of problems to find what matters to them. People from that speak their same language, are talking about the same topics. It's relevant, it's meaningful in their region, and so I know it's not easy to solve this problem, to have a good algorithm, but you can also have we have a big community of developers here and builders and stuff. You can always try to solve this problem together. Also, the creators also need to understand if it's worth to use your app. Like I'm speaking of like content creators in this topic. Like there's a lot of creators that are spreading their presence in multiple platforms, and it takes effort to do this. So if they don't see this effort paying off, they might not try to keep their presence in your app. About the onboarding and stuff, there's a lot of questions how to do the best UX to that in many languages, and or how to explain the protocol to users that they don't need multiple accounts if they don't want to use multiple apps. There's always open questions that we don't have the solid answer yet, but this group of research will be taking these researches. So I recommend you scan this QR code and keep them in your notes. Also, I forgot to warn you that I'm going to show a lot of QR codes. So be ready to take the pictures or scan this stuff. I will wait a little bit. Ready? You can always ask me for the links and the presentation after on Bluesky. I can share those two. So also, this wasn't planned originally, because when I was here in the Science Day for the conference, I saw this very interesting presentation about the stalled migration to Bluesky for a scientific community. And they have a really insightful research in data. So if you missed that, it's okay. The AT Proto Science will post the recording later. So save the follow AT Proto Science to just check this data, because it's not exactly the topic I'm talking about, but this data is kind of related and useful. Okay, let's go to communication now. If you really wanting to attract a certain audience, you need to communicate with them. Otherwise, they might not know about your app, in that your app can be useful to them. They really appreciate the effort to be included and be listened to. You can start doing simple steps, like announcing your new features, your features in different languages. Simple text can be handled by machine translators, but I still be careful about translating more complex text. I will have a little good example. Leaflet did a really cool job in the beginning. They post they ask for feedback and requests for different groups like artists, scientists, fandom people. And even though they did it in English, they managed to push new features, very cool features that everyone is benefiting. I can see some non-English speakers using Leaflet and enjoying those features. So you can do this kind of thing too. This QR code will take you to this list of posts if you want. Also, let's talk about AT Brazil, the work I'm doing. Like the AT Brazil, I'm trying to bridge this gap in communication. I try to translate in simple ways, in quick ways, the biggest updates around the atmosphere, the Bluesky stuff, things I see Brazilians being confused about. I try to explain in a simple way to everyone to get, and also to provide the technical Brazilian developers the resources to dig deeper in the information that not always is getting out of the English bubble inside Bluesky and stuff. That's a thing that more people can do and will be very helpful to spread the word. A little of reality check. That QR code in the top right is a graphic to the most used language in Bluesky by day, by week, month, and years. You can check out, and I will just highlight some examples of the most used languages: Japanese, Portuguese, and Spanish. Like in Japan, I found that around 28% of the population speaks English. In Brazil, it's just 5% of people that is comfortable speaking English. And Mexico, around 13%, and in Spain, 22%. So you can see the percentage is not that high, even though you might think about it was higher. So you need to think about it. Okay, Translations. It's not a simple task. I recognize it's not a simple task to have good translations. Machine translations can't be up to date with new popular ways in terms across the internet. The language is moving really fast around the internet, and so the translation won't always keep up with that. I will give a little example in the next slide. Be cautious of relying on AI because you don't know if that model is well trained in that language you want. There's multiple models that have different training, and you can maybe have more problems relying on that than not. Localizing your app will make a huge difference, not just translating. I will give a little bit of examples, but again, the next talk will go even deeper about this. Like my little example is from Twitter. In Brazil, tweet became tweet. Like that. And the users became known as tweeteiros. So, like this kind of thing, a machine translator won't get for a long time. They might know now because Twitter is around for a couple of years now, but for new apps, you won't know by relying in machine translations. A little tips that I see a lot of people struggling around the atmospheres. Time zones. Please avoid using regional names for time zones. US Central doesn't mean anything in Brazil. Please. A good way to be safe is using UTC. UTC is the universal time for a reason. UTC is more easy to be understood around the globe. So I give you this tip. It's easier because if you also want to list big cities, you will need a really, really huge list to maintain, and you might not be familiar with cities from different countries you never heard about. So I think the good old UTC is a safe bet to go for that. Now let's talk about tools to help you translate, because I know not everyone has a lot of money and multiple people inside their teams to help. So you can use some tools to have the community to help you translate. This one NPM X is using is called Lunaria. You can see in this screenshot, you can see the translation from Portuguese. There's 89 of strings translated, so there's need some updates, and it lists how much what you need to translate. Unfortunately, it's a little bit technical. You need to know how the people translating need to know how to commit and push code and find those strings. It's not that simple to use. There's this tool, Think, that is used by Tokimeki. It's a little bit easier to use. You can use this interface to see different strings from different languages to translate, but it requires a connection with GitHub. So having a GitHub account, it's not something that non-devs are very familiar with, but when you have the GitHub account, you can do everything through this interface. But there's a point to note that might be a problem to gather help from non-technical people. And that is crowding that Bluesky is using. it's really less technical. You don't need to touch code at all. You just see the text and translate in an app. They have even mobile app, so it's really easy to use. But also they have some requirements to use this. So check if your project can use this first. Okay. Now it's time for the discussion. I will check the live chat, the stream chat, and I ask for non-English speakers to bring your point of view if you are comfortable about some of the topics I said, and English speakers, you are welcome to bring questions and listen and listen. So that's, we have about 8 minutes to do this. Let me see the chat. Anyone? There's a microphone. Thank you.
Yes, so if people can raise hands, I'll bring the mic so the people on the live stream can hear us.
Yeah.
So when localizing an app user interface, is it enough to just translate the words, or are there certain different paradigms of control and layout that you need to be thinking about based on different expectations from different communities?
Yes, I can give you some examples that will be more in depth with the next talk too, with real examples from French, but I will give you some examples in Portuguese too. When translating from English to Portuguese, as an example, there's a big difference, like Portuguese, French, Spanish, and Italian. It's all very gendered language. So imagine if you are translating a word in your interface, like followers. It's a small word, but in different languages, it can be really big. And if you want to accommodate different genders, you might need a bigger space for that. So that's a really good problem, a real problem to accommodate this in your interface. How you adapt your user interface to bigger translations, words. How do you make these words short or not? How do you accommodate the needs?
Yeah, thanks, Victoria, for that. I will add to that because beside French, because I will talk about French for 30 minutes, and including about gendered language, and you are not ready for that. Yeah. But also for other languages, I'm not that familiar about that, but please keep in mind that there is right to left languages, and this is a big thing about layout and stuff. So, but one of the main things that I will also say, but you don't have to do it perfectly at first. Yeah. You just have to care. If you care, it's cool. Translators will come to you and ask for stuff, and you will have to understand that their demands make sense. We don't come to you if we don't think that it is important for us. And you just talked about the string length, because the classical example is German. German love to agglomerate words into big words, and you may not have that in mind when you are designing your beautiful markup. But of course, you can't simply cut a word anywhere, of what you can do, but you have to think about that. And if you don't, your buttons will explode in a way in your UI. So you may have to think about that, but don't freeze about that. Don't say, oh, I won't do internationalization until I have X thousand users. You can try simple things first, and I will actually tell you a very useful thing sorry, I'm teasing, but about how you can organize your keys, for example.
Oh, God.
Hi, thanks for sharing. And I'm just here like to share more experience. Like I had a tiny library just to format numbers. Like usually in English, people use commas for thousands and a period for decimals.
Yes.
I'm Brazilian as well. In Brazil, we do the opposite for whatever reason. I said, oh, that's simple. And then I started a library to do that. And it became a massive rabbit hole because like the way people represent negative numbers, it changed. People group numbers by 3, usually like in English in Brazil, but then I found out there are countries that group by 2 digits by digit. So
Yes.
it is massive. Like you cannot imagine how difficult it is only for numbers, and then you think about a whole atmosphere, a whole community. So yeah. Anyway, just adding to your question.
Hi, I'm from Japan, and I resonated so much from the talk. Thank you so much. And I have a question, and I get to say an opinion, so I will do that. My question is, so this is great. We're all here interested in internationalization. Where can we go after we go home? Is there a place to ask these questions, or who do we go to? Or should we make one? And then let me say one more thing. So Japanese people are very excited about new, tools and apps, and love to see it in Japanese for sure. So if you localize it or make it available for localization, they'll be happy to, contribute. And yeah.
Okay, to organize the. Well, we can always create some space to help organize stuff, people interested in that. We can figure out together where we can do stuff. We can start by organizing on Bluesky who is interested in help and who needs help and stuff, and then we can evolve, I don't know, like a roomie chat or something else. We can always figure out, or if someone else has a good solution to that, it's going to be very cool. Let me check now the screen chat really quickly. Yeah, they were talking about like if a word is a metaphor for something technical, a little translation probably won't work well. That's a good point. Yeah, a lot of people are talking like caring is the most important part. Oh, there is Rumis wants to help with organizing, but it's still very work in progress. Okay, okay.
Maybe just to add a little thing about that. First of all, about a space to talk with each other. I think that a roomie chat or something could be cool, but just so you know, we already have a Discord for the translators of the Bluesky open source project, because we have some time to coordinate or to ask Samuel for what is this new feature that you are shipping, but also about the numbers, because you talked about numbers and dates. I won't be able to talk about that in the talk, but please rely on the browser. Chrome, Firefox, Safari, they all took a lot of time to do it correctly using what Unicode standard provide, and it will really simply handle everything that you will throw at them. Those, I would say weird, but it's no offense intended. Those strange way of organizing numbers are actually very well supported by the browser. It's the same for dates, writing dates in the right format, e.e. not with month, starting with the month, and everything like that are actually supported by the browser.
Okay. I have just one last slide to thank you. Obrigada, everyone. This QR code This QR code will take you to my Blento with my information. I have a link to schedule a meeting online with me if you want. I will be available after the conference for that. Or if you are in person, you can scan my You and Me in person. But I also have a little Brazilian gift to give you today. So that's it. Thank you. Obrigada.